You closed the deal. The team celebrates. Revenue goes up. And 3 months later, you realize the deal is barely profitable. That's the trap.
Because teams optimize for closed won, not for margin.
Revenue is vanity. Margin is survival.
And execution is where margins get destroyed. Not on the slide, in the field.
Welcome to the show. I'm Brenda, here on MATCH B2B Insights. Benny Fluman, founder of MATCH B2B, building revenue systems for B2B companies.
Good to be here.
Dan Mercer, CFO perspective, focused on cash, risk, and decision quality.
Thanks, Brenda.
And Brian Newman, SDR, pipeline, and what actually happens in the field.
Let's do it.
So here's the question. What turns a closed-won deal into a bad business decision?
Usually, one of three things. You cut price, you delay cash, you underprice delivery. Sometimes all three in the same contract, which is efficient in a very destructive way.
That phrase, delay cash, is the one CEOs feel too late, right? Because the dashboard says revenue, but the bank account says something else.
Exactly. Pipeline is a story. Cash is the ending. If you tell me a deal is worth $100K, and then I find out you gave a 20% discount, it's not a $100K deal. It's an $80K deal. You didn't win the deal, you changed the economics.
Yes, but I'm going to push on that. I don't think discounting is automatically bad. If the discount is structured, if it's tied to volume, multi-year value, faster expansion, lower support cost, fine. The problem is not discounting by itself. The problem is random discounting used as pain relief at the end of the quarter.
I agree with the word random. I'm still hostile to most of it. I'm paid to be paranoid.
Wait, this is the tension. When is a discount a strategy, and when is it just desperation?
Good question. Strategy has a model. Desperation has a target to hit by Friday. If sales says, we need 15% off to land a lighthouse account in a segment we can upsell in 6 months, that's one conversation. If they say, the prospect asked for 20%, so we gave it, that's not strategy. That's weak positioning plus pressure.
And you can hear it upstream. If targeting is sloppy, you attract buyers who don't really fit. If messaging is weak, they don't understand value. Then the SDR team books meetings, sales gets resistance, and price becomes the easiest lever. A discount is often just the last symptom.
So the discount isn't the disease, it's the fever.
Exactly. And once the team learns that price concessions rescue bad positioning, they keep using them.
Which is why finance gets involved. Because if we repeat a bad deal 10 times, we don't get growth. We get a larger version of the same mistake.
That is such a sharp distinction. Bigger doesn't mean healthier.
Right, we see this a lot with companies we work with. They think they have a sales problem. Sometimes they do, but often they have a margin architecture problem. Pricing, qualification, onboarding assumptions, approval rules, all disconnected.
Let's get concrete. Chapter 2 here is really what happens after signature. Dan, walk us through the 3 margin killers with numbers.
First, discounting. List price is $100K. You give 20% off. That's $80K. Obvious. But teams still report the win emotionally like it's $100K. Second, payment terms. Net 30 becomes net 75. You gave the customer financing for free. Third, scope creep. The statement of work is vague. Delivery expands, cost rises, margin disappears.
That net 75 piece, 45 extra days, is not abstract. That's payroll, vendors, maybe hiring plans sitting in limbo.
Correct, and I'll ask the annoying questions. Do we report this as profitable revenue? Do we hire based on this margin? If we repeat this 10 times, do we run out of cash?
And on scope creep, we see deals where implementation doubles after signing. Not because anyone lied exactly. more because discovery was weak and everybody wanted the contract. Then customer success inherits a mess they never priced.
And sometimes it's the wrong customer from the start. Expensive to onboard, expensive to support, low internal readiness, lots of custom requests. You closed a deal that your system cannot serve efficiently. So now the team burns time, the margin shrinks, and the account still complains.
Let me try to explain that back. A bad fit customer doesn't just buy at a lower price. They also consume more delivery and support, so the real margin drops twice?
Almost, sometimes 3 times. Lower price, higher onboarding cost, higher ongoing service load. That's why closed won can hide a very bad business decision.
Okay, let's pin that with the numeric example. Benny, give me the math.
Sure, list price, $120,000. Discount, 25%. So actual price is $90,000. On paper, someone says, still a big deal. Fine. Now add a 70% gross margin assumption. That sounds healthy until onboarding cost hits $30,000. Suddenly the economics tighten fast. Margin gets eroded, payback stretches, and the deal that looked strong in Salesforce is much weaker in reality.
And the token people should remember, there is 30K onboarding. That number matters more than the celebration. Because if the delivery burden is front-loaded, cash payback moves out, maybe too far out.
The 30K is the sting, honestly. That's the part people don't clap for on the sales call.
No, and it connects directly to GTM quality. Weak targeting creates prospects who need too much education. Weak messaging creates price pressure. Weak qualification lets high-friction customers through. So by the time sales is negotiating, they're already boxed in.
This is where Benny and I disagree a bit. If you discount to win, you already lost.
I don't agree. Discounting is fine, if controlled and strategic. If it buys speed into a segment, reference value, or expansion economics you can actually defend, good. But it must be approved, measured, and tied to a margin floor. Otherwise, Dan is right. It's just loss-making optimism.
Fair. My issue is that most discounts are not strategic. They are undocumented fear.
Undocumented fear. That one's gonna stick.
And this is why you don't fix margin in 1 quarter. You need a structured 6-month system. Pricing rules, approval thresholds, better ICP definition, better qualification, better handoff from sales to delivery. When we build pricing and pipeline systems, that's the work, not a heroic discount policy emailed on Monday.
Let's make this practical. 3 weekly checks. What are they?
Margin per deal.
Onboarding cost.
Discount level, every week, no excuses.
And 3 triggers?
Discount above 15% requires approval.
If onboarding rises, recheck the deal before more resources go in.
If payback keeps stretching, stop. Don't normalize it.
And the decision rule is simple. Don't close a deal that misses the margin target.
If we can't answer cost per outcome, time to cash, and downside risk, it's not a decision yet.
Before we land this, AI, where does it actually help beyond buzzwords?
AI can flag which deals look good but lose money. It can spot customers with unusually high onboarding load or segments where discounting always spikes. That matters because patterns hide when you're looking one deal at a time.
Exactly. Use AI to identify low-margin deals, expensive customers, and segment-level leakage before it repeats. Not to replace judgment, to sharpen it.
That's the real takeaway for me. Revenue without margin is risk. Discounting must be controlled, and not every deal is worth winning. If you want to build a more effective GTM system, you can contact Benny Fluman on WhatsApp at 052-420-3043. Because the dangerous deal isn't the one you lose. It's the one you celebrate too early. We'll see you next time on MATCH B2B Insights.
Bye.